Doing a podcast with Shaun. Give me a half an hour. Just give me like 20 more half an hour. Let me just finish what I'm doing so I can give you my complete attention, please, brother. All right, thanks, bye.
Two black guys with good credit.
Hey, it's two black guys with good credit. This is today, I think, a very good topic because there's a lot of one thing America teaches you if you really get the skill right is to, knowing how to fake it to make it.
Yes.
But I want to dig a little deeper today, and I want to just list some things that you shouldn't do if you're not rich.
Okay.
Like there's a certain levels to fake it and make it. But let's I just wrote down some things randomly that I believe that if you're not rich, these are things you shouldn't be doing. So number one, Russell. Well, in no particular order. Don't live like you're rich before you are by buying like luxury items like designer clothes, designer cars, just to keep up the appearance. Do you agree with it, or there's a certain level of like you have to fake it? Let's roll between the lines of faking it because there's a part of you that has to fake it,
Yes.
but there's a
Unfortunately,
part
it
that when
is.
you're going to the extreme, right?
Unfortunately, it is. Yes. I think that honestly, I'm probably wrong because I've faked it. I've done all of the things.
The high end
Bought
stuff. Pull up in front of the
yes.
club in the
Yes,
rental.
Spent my check at the strip club, like just.
Oh my
done
God,
all of
bro!
that.
This is
We can talk about it. It's just, I talk from personal experiences, right? And a lot of times you get caught up. I would get caught up in just like, yes, because there was an insecurity in my life that made me feel like I had to.
But
show
should
that I
you
had it.
buy? Okay, should you buy the luxury item if you want to? If you're not rich, like if
No,
if
you
you're trying
shouldn't.
to,
No, you shouldn't. You're absolutely not supposed to. You shouldn't do it. You definitely shouldn't.
you
do it
still think you
because
achieve success without having to like fake it in that sense.
I think that it covers up how you feel about yourself. I think that once you are more secure in who you are, right, in your conversation, because people, when money shows you, like if you have expensive things, that means that you have money. So if you have money, it's hoping it can talk for you. But then there's people who understand that they can have it. Like a lot of, I meet people that has millions and millions of dollars. They look like they don't have a dollar, right? Because when you speak to them, they're intelligent. They understand what they're talking about. So you have to kind of try to get away from it. So,
But even as I don't like to get into color thing, but you think as a black man you can have that poor look. I think honestly, no offense, I think white people can more get away with like that grumpy, grudgy look, white like grudgy ripped jeans. My family's from upstate, and but at the end of the day they're like super wealthy. I don't think we as black people can get away with it as easily.
it's tougher. It's way
tougher.
to do. Yeah,
We can't
because
look
we're
good
judged.
looking.
No, we're judged.
It-
There's a judgment. There's a judgment. There's many times I'm going into circles, and I like my urban look at times, right? My
Right.
sweatpants, my hat tilt to the side a little bit, and I see the looks. I get the up and down in my building. They're trying to figure out what I do. Who am I? You know what I mean? If they should be talking, somebody
Right.
should be talking to me. So yes, you're gonna get judged.
When I bought a property in a gated area in Barbados, like for years they thought I was a drug dealer. And
Yeah.
it's something I don't fight it. If this is what you believe, this is what you believe.
Yeah.
But I will get back to the point of like faking it to make it, because I remember when I wanted to get my first Rolex. And I'm just leaning the way that I have many Rolexes, but I'm not supposed to say that, right? But
Yes.
and I was at Columbus Circle at the Rolex store. And I was just looking outside of the shop, and people always come into your life and drop it. There was a gentleman that pulled up and saw me looking at it, right? And he was like, "You're deciding if you want to get one or not, aren't you?" And I'm like, "Yeah." Because I have one myself, and I remember I was like you when I was deciding if I wanted to get one. He goes, "Don't hesitate, go get it. It's social equity." And I didn't understand what he meant by it at first. And then I decided, based on him telling me that, I got it, even though I didn't fully grasp what he was trying to tell me. And then when I got my Rolex and I went to meetings, it drew attention. It gave me an acceptance, and I got like a particular Rolex that not everybody has. So I've been on planes and people have stopped me and asked me about my watch.
Yeah.
And I think like I have no regrets of buying it, because I think it's been a great asset that's helped me navigate in certain deals and put me in the room, to say like, oh, this guy not only has a Rolex, but he has this particular one that shows that, okay, he's at a level of intellect.
Right.
So I think there's a fine line. I think there's a part of it that has to show success. People want to see success, but it could be a grungy look success. But number one, it's confidence. But then I think there's a look that you should have without overkilling, without overdoing it.
Yeah, I would agree. I would definitely agree with that. But I think that fake until you make it, it helps. It definitely does. I think that you have many stories of people putting themselves in social circles and looking a certain way, speaking a certain way, and it helps them.
Right.
Because they're gonna perceive you in a way. Just like when I was younger and doing too much, right? I went to Miami with some friends. We rented the cars, right? The Lamborghini,
Oh, you did
the
that.
Ferrari. Yeah,
you
yeah,
did
yeah,
that.
yeah.
You're that guy.
Yeah, I told you I'm that guy. I make the bad decisions. I figure them out afterwards. Say why you never do it in your life, right? But the amount of attention that you got from everybody.
Right.
So it didn't matter if it was, didn't matter the persuasion of their skin color, man, woman, child. Did not. We had people coming up, hand us cards. Like, what do you do? Give me a call. Like, just end up just people out the blue
Wow.
because they just assumed we had money. And I was barely like, I just barely made enough to get out there to figure this out. Just like a lot of people that just make foolish decisions. But the amount of attention that you get when you look
And
like
people
you have
like that. It
money,
strokes
right?
your ego.
Yeah, it does.
Another thing I would say too, don't fall for lifestyle creep. This is so common. Just because you do a great deal and you made a few dollars doesn't mean to right away upgrade your lifestyle. Because I'll see people they're just like, as soon as they get a good deal, they have a little money, they'll go and like rent this expensive ass apartment that they can't afford,
Yeah.
buy these expensive things, and they're not doing the foundation of like investing. They're not like, so they get caught up in this rich lifestyle, and now they're trying to maintain this lifestyle, trying to pay these big rent notes, trying to pay these big car notes, and now it limits growth.
I mean, that's what we learn in America. That's the American way. They're not taught. We're taught to look, to have, and not really to invest.
Right. So invest before
Yeah,
invest first and creep
Yes.
up slowly. Next point. Neglecting financial literacy. As much as now it's the trending word and generational wealth, I don't think the younger generation is trying to learn something every day about financial literacy and being intentional about it. I think they think that, we're going to make this quick money real quick
And look good.
and we're good.
Yeah, and look good. Look
And
good.
look
Get
good.
the,
Yeah,
get
I
the
don't-
chains and get the all the expensive stuff that you get with the money. Yeah,
I think the problem is like, just like in anything, and as you get older, you get wiser to it, like learning the fundamentals. Like managing money is an art form. And, we talk about it all day long, back and forth,
Yes.
juggling. I don't care what your idea is, how good you are. If you don't know how to budget and manage and understand basics of financial literacy, unless you can shoot hoops in a basket or hit a small little ball in a hole 500 yards down the road, you're going to lose it.
you're gonna lose it.
You're going to lose it. Or you're not going to know how to make it into multiples,
Yeah, which is tough.
Here's another one. If you're not rich, don't rely on credit for everyday expenses, like where you're not managing, we're leaving a balance, because people, as they get to my age, and, what'll happen to them is that now they have all the great ideas, but they're drowning in debt. Their credit cards are
And you
maxed
can't get
out.
out of it. You
So they can't get out of it.
Yeah, you
So
can't get out of it.
They can't get out of it. And it's sad because now they know what to do and how to do it, but they're just in a chokehold that they can't get out of it.
So what do you recommend? Like, where do you start to, how can you reach people for that? Because again, you're working against the machine, right? We're being taught from college, here's a credit card. When you're broke, right? Now you get the credit card, you can't afford to buy food anyway, so you want to buy some food. Your friends want to go out, you want to spend it. You're not thinking about it, so they're catching you from early. So how do you reverse that? Because it's a mindset that's just taught. It's very rare unless you have like a strong household that's going to say, this is what you're supposed to do. Don't spend money. Here's your credit card. Spend 10%. Check in with the kids and make sure that they're doing it. If you don't have that, then you're lost in the system.
Yeah, one of the things, like I always have new trending words, and one of my words, saying of 2025, and you say it all the time, is, learning to eat humble pie. You can say things with confidence, like, I can't go out with you. You're at a restaurant with friends, I'm not ordering that. That's way out of my budget. If you say it with confidence, people are not going to look like, okay, you're a person that has control,
Yeah.
And I think a weak person just keeps falling into something that they know they shouldn't be in. Putting something in their car that they know, spending something out at restaurants, ordering drinks upon drinks, going to the club when they know they shouldn't do it, and that lacks the discipline. So I think it's a matter of like really understanding financial literacy, budgeting, allocating your, if I do a good deal, I'm not the type of guy that believes in like waiting till retirement to enjoy myself. I'm enjoying myself now. You talk about, I got like about 30 summers left of life. And I'm going to make sure that I enjoy my summers. I'm going to make sure I live now. But if I make $100, I may blow 30 of it. And I don't care what you judge me, but another 30 of it's going to go away towards something else.
Yeah.
So I'm not the one that's going to, I've seen people just blow everything on I'm the belief that they can just do another big deal. And I'm always paranoid. I'm always like, even every day at my store, I'm always blessed that somebody just comes in and ships with me. Like, will they do it again? Will I get somebody coming again? It's always a paranoia in my head, you know?
Yeah.
And another thing is like, people are taking debt for status, You're taking out loans that you can't afford for cars, you're going and you're buying all these expensive stuff on credit cards to obtain a status, which I think is wrong. You only need a few signature beads. They showed how many suits can be made out of like a simple jacket and pants and mixing the jacket and pants and doing all this kind of stuff to make combinations,
Yeah. But I mean, Shaun, you've always been like financially savvy is a nice way to put it.
What are you trying to say? No, you can put it you can give it to Ron.
Ah, you're cheap. Like, where's the breakfast? No. But in terms of like, people don't understand how to get this. I think that's something that you'd read because you're saying like what you should do, but you should really break down the process a little bit on how do you get there.
I think what should be done initially is knowing yourself. And I wouldn't say, I definitely would not agree to the fact that I am cheap. I'm aware.
Joke,
I'm aware, and I'm
Yeah.
a person that, I'm an immigrant. I don't know, a sad story, but it's like I don't have plan B, C, D, or E.
100%,
So it's plan A or fail for me. So
Yeah.
that's always in the back of my mind. So I make sure I plan carefully. I don't want to wake up one day and have to call my son in college, like come back home because I can't afford to pay school for you anymore. Those paranoias that I live with every day. And I'm not saying
Yeah.
it's a reality, but it's a paranoia. So it makes me disciplined. But I'm not like you. I can't ball out at the clubs. I don't get the Lamborghini, but I do find a happy medium.
A happy medium,
A happy medium. That's all I'm going to say. And I think you should find everybody should have a happy medium. And I'm not the type of person, I don't believe in, like I said, like waiting for this special day to then say I'm going to now spend my money.
Yeah.
I think life is stages. And your 20s is a great decade. Enjoy
Yeah.
it. And your 30s is even a better decade, and your 40s, you start to stabilize a little. So you start to enjoy these times because you don't get them back.
Because, and that's what I'm saying, like, we always talk about the benefit of our friendships, because one of the things that you do provide to me is make me more responsible, right? Because when you have friends that's more, because, you have friends that's more responsible,
Right.
and you have a stricter way of managing money than I do, right? So I appreciate that, and it helps me manage and think about my money a lot deeper than I usually do.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
Thank you.
it's not something that, it's something that it's a gift that everybody doesn't have. So I think that you play it light in terms of like how vigilant you are of understanding this.
Well, I'll give you back a gift. I like how you assess things and you can break things down in its simplest form, so I get it and I know how to attack. Okay, so we just had a bro moment.
We had a bro moment. All right.
We don't have a bro moment. Let's just go to commercial. Let's go to commercial. This bro moment. We'll be back with more Two Black Guys with Good Credit after we get over this bro moment. Welcome back to Two Black Guys with Good Credit. We got more. One of mine is like staying in a job without a plan. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. If you're in a job that it's not paying enough, you're not getting any new skills, you're not networking in a position, and you're not positioning yourself for better opportunities, like, what is the point? I think young people don't know how to rinse out an opportunity, not strategic enough. I don't care where they're working. You can be the prep cook at McDonald's. There's opportunities there's learning that you can get, and if you're not taking advantage of them, and you're not taking advantage of every hour of the day to learn and to grow, then what are we doing?
All right.
And I think that's one of the things that, if you ain't rich, you need to pay attention. You need to find every opportunity to learn and grow.
Yeah. You got to be assertive. That's what
You gotta be
it comes to.
assertive.
Assertive. You have to be a go-getter, because in every situation, every manager, every supervisor look for somebody who can handle things.
Correct.
So once you can do that, then you'll move up and make more money and save more money, hopefully.
I go by a place and I see young people working security jobs, and I'm like, you have the best job in the world as a young person. You should read every book. You should be so up on things, but I see them looking down at their phone, playing games. If you're at a job where you just got to stand post, educate yourself. You can get a degree online now while you're getting paid to be security somewhere. Another one, don't only have one source of income. I think, I have doctor friends, lawyer friends that are in their 30s, 40s, and don't know how to create multiple sources of income. And no matter how much you make, even the richest of the rich have multiple sources of income. NBA players, basketball players, sports writers, journalists create multiple streams of income.
Yes.
You have to get into the mindset of creating multiple source of income, wearing many hats.
That's the tough part, because a lot of people, the way that we were raised is to get a good job, to work, and that's your security. And then as the world's changing, they understand that they need more, but then you're lost because you've already established yourself and learned this way. And then to go back and try to recreate yourself, that's tough for a lot of people.
It's 2025. You gotta put on multiple hats. Like this
You
day,
have to. You
like
have
you just
to.
said, you just explained jobs in your time in 1972, but not in 2025. You have to really have. You have to have multiple multiple lines of income, because that's the only way you're gonna survive in this world. We talked about this in the last episode, but don't ignore the negotiation. You know what I mean? Like, you have worth, you have value, and most things are a negotiation.
100%. 100%. I think that, it's learned, because when I was younger, I was fearful of negotiation. I would take whatever money you would give me.
Me too, and I think that's all it was
I
worth.
would take, yeah. But then I noticed, like, my eldest daughter, when she negotiated a job, she's fearless. It's because she's grown up with a confidence of understanding who she is as an individual and what she's worth.
Right.
So if you don't have that from a young, that's just tough. And people don't like talk. We're not learning to talk about money. It's not something that we know.
I'm gonna look into the camera. Camera, you can zoom in on this one. I want all the young people to understand this, especially those that are not rich. Stop studying something useless at school. Don't waste your money or your parents' money. Find practical skills that are related to 2025.
That's still tough.
Like, these bachelor are useless. A certificate of are a waste of time. Like, one of the facts that I've learned is that 50% of the jobs people are gonna be doing 10 years from now have not even been created yet.
Yeah, that's what's going to be tough, because with AI, like, where do you even go?
Well, you have to navigate. Don't be fearless of like, oh, I don't like computers. I don't like AI. School sucks. No,
Yeah.
I'm going to just study. I don't want to name topics because I'm going to get offended, but I'm going to study philosophy from the 1940s. Yes, you can learn from those things, but you still have to get up to 2025. You still have to learn practical things that are relevant to today. I don't even like that universities, just another topic, like, that are not like redoing their curriculum to accommodate AI. Yes, kids are using ChatGPT. Okay, well, it's time for you to change your curriculum, because ChatGPT is in the workplace. It's here forever, in a sense. So if kids are using it to write a paper and get through an exam, the problem is not with the kids. The problem is with the school, because they're teaching not current ways that are applicable in the workforce. And that's going a little off topic, but that's a shout out to the schools that need to get up with the times, because I don't think
which is tough.
They shouldn't prevent ChatGPT. They should incorporate it into their curriculum.
But you're fighting against two different mindsets. The older generations of the 80-year-old men who are sitting on their boards with 20-year-old guys and 30 years who want to change the world. That's just a clash. That's crazy.
Well, that's why you always need young people. That's why I like young energy.
Yeah.
Here's another one, and I get this all the time. When should I invest in? Don't wait to invest. Like, invest. It can be small, it can be big. And the best person I invest in is me. Like, I believe in me as a brand. I believe in me, so I'm always reinvesting in me. Doing this show doesn't reap millions of benefits, but it's investing in me.
Yeah.
I'm growing from it. I'm working with people that I believe. If you want to see, the first thing you should invest in is you. But continue to invest.
Yeah, but again, people invest because it's fearful, because they don't understand it. So taking the steps, at least trying, failing, trying, then you'll get better at it. And you'll create that energy around people who's going to help you invest in yourself as well, and invest into making money.
And another one, if you're not rich, the earlier you invest in retirement, the better off you'll be. And I'm not saying because you're going to wait for the glorious years of when you get to 59 and a half or 60, whatever, that it's going to be time. Because as you're investing for your retirement, you may find ways in which you can leverage your retirement money. It'll create a discipline in you to do deals and better deals. And you can always use it when you apply for certain things in loans. You can always show your investment value as part of a leveraging tool, as part of an application.
Oh, you're right.
So I think that's another. I know it seems like I'm monopolizing the show because I'm not getting your personality out of it. So I'm going to give you this one. Don't keep financial struggles a secret. You agree that the poor should not be doing that?
No, you shouldn't. You shouldn't.
Why
I mean,
not?
you should, because you learn from it. You absolutely learn from those situations. You learn from people's failures. That's how I learn. I learn from my failures, right?
No, but when you're going through something tough, I know you do your 24 hours, can't get in touch with you, but do you
Right.
do you let people know when you're struggling, when things aren't working out in your favor? Do you share that information?
Bits and pieces, because you still have the pride, right? Because no one wants to seem like they're struggling or drowning. So I think manage it, right? So it doesn't become, because the energy of it's important too. You don't want to become somebody who's just like, oh, my world's falling apart. What do we hear that? They're like, I'm having a situation. Let's talk through it. Let's figure it out. And you get the pieces of information that you can put it together to help move forward. So that's how I move with it. I don't just.
I agree with you. I think you should put it out there, and if you can frame it in a way that the person can give you a real objective answer, that means like maybe not telling them directly what's happening, but trying to get their take on it without letting them know everything, because then you may get a more honest answer.
Yeah.
So I agree with you on that, and I think you need to put it out there in university energy. Like I always, as I get older, like living in your head too much sucks. I don't think you should live in your head, no matter what you're going through, even if it's finance or not. Like, get out of your head.
Yes.
Put it out there in the universe.
You gotta get out your head, but then also people don't really care what you go through, to be very honest.
Yeah.
Because if you're giving all of your emotions about something, they don't want the emotions. It's better if you could just talk about the situation without the emotions. People give you, oh, this sucks, that sucks. They don't want to hear it. Let's cut to the chase. Let's figure out what it is. Especially if you talk to people that are busy who can actually help you. People can help you if they're gonna be busy. They don't have time for the emotional expressions of everything. So just get to the point of it.
Another mindset thing is don't take financial advice from broke people. Broke people got a lot to say. They got a lot to say.
But it's twofold, right? Because then I'll meet somebody. I'll meet somebody who, like, let's say, for example, lived in a brownstone or living there, and you see that they were successful for many years. Now they fell down on hard times. I like to know what you did wrong. Right? Because you can always figure out what to do right. If people like investors, but then like you have the idea of just how to be disciplined. A lot of people have that discipline, right?
But they're not savvy. So, like I'm hearing you.
Some people are savvy, but then
savvy and broke don't get along with me.
No, but then you can become broke because you become sick, right? And you just didn't invest enough. You thought you had the money. So those are all things, but you can learn from it. You can learn from somebody. If they had it, they don't have it anymore. You can learn from mistakes, because we're saying the same thing. Do people share their mistakes? So even though we don't want to, I try to get that out of them so you understand it.
I know you for a little while now.
Yeah.
I don't see you hanging out with broke people too often through all that time. I'm sorry.
I didn't say hanging out with them. I should having conversations is different.
And the last one I want to say before we wrap up this show, tell me your thoughts. Don't think that wealth is out of reach.
For sure. It's a state of mind, right? Wealth is a state of mind. If you believe it, and I never said when I was younger, believe it, you'll achieve it. But it's the truth. If you have to be able to see yourself in a situation. So if you see yourself even like simpler, if you want to work out, you see yourself getting bigger in the mirror, you can start to work out more. So if you see yourself becoming successful and you put yourself, then it was going to happen.
I agree. And I as we look back, wealth is not out of reach. It's what your interpretation of wealth is. And wealth doesn't have to mean you're worth $500 million or $1 billion. Wealth can mean you have freedom to do what you would like to do, and money is allowing you to do that. And so there's many levels of wealth, but I think it's achievable.
It is.
Well, we had a wealth of knowledge that we passed on today. Two Black Guys with Good Credit. That's another great episode. But I'd like to say, I'm out. And my brother, I appreciate you.
Oh, man.
And when you're hanging out with that broke person, don't hit me up, all right? Peace.
Two black guys with good